My name's Chloe Biondi, and for the English 231 final, I'm going to be comparing a piece of literature from the 18th century and a song written in 2019, and how they both relate to feminism. One of the most well-known advocates for women's rights in the 18th century was Judith Sargent Murray, and she wrote the poem On the Equality of Sexes in 1790. And this poem describes how women are intellectually and spiritually equal to men, although they are not treated like this in society, especially in the time that this poem was written. And she describes how educated women who were able to experience things in society and see what society had to offer, like their male counterparts did, they'd be able to raise more intelligent and capable children. And she also used scriptures from the Bible to back up her belief that men and women were equal. And she was an activist who rebelled against the traditional roles of women at the time, because she was a writer who began writing because she had a passion for women's education. But then she began writing more essays and poems and letters and plays that promoted women's rights. And then she became really successful, which pushed the boundaries of what a typical woman was at this time, because they usually were suppressed to the domestic sphere. And just like Judith Sargent Murray, there are also women in our society today who are pushing the boundaries and exposing the double standard between men and women. And an example of one of these strong females is the popular singer-songwriter Taylor Swift. She has been a prominent figure in the music industry for many years now, writing songs that call out the double standard between men and women in society. One of these feminist songs is her song The Man from her album Lover. The Man is a song about how different Taylor Swift's career would be if she were a man instead of a woman. She critiques how overall men face less obstacles in society compared to women when they're trying to reach a certain level of success. And I think that her ideas in this song are well summarized by the line, "I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man." So she describes how many times she's been judged and critiqued and undermined simply due to the fact that she is a successful and influential woman in the music industry. And one example of this is that she has received a lot of hate for over the years for having many public relationships with several different men over the span of many years while she's been famous. While there are plenty of male celebrities that show off many women in their lives, and they're constantly praised by the rest of society for being ballers and role models. And so Taylor Swift speaks a lot on how society constantly questions her worth and success as a musician just because she's a woman, and yet no one ever questions the status of her male counterparts in the industry. And she also has written other songs such as Blank Space, where she conflicts the traditional gender stereotypes that women who date a lot of men are crazy, obsessive, and promiscuous. So both Judith Sargent Murray and Taylor Swift were strong women that called out the unfair treatment they received compared to the men around them. And they chose to display their ideas in well-thought-out poems and songs so that the public could hear what they had to say. And these displays of feminism brought change for women everywhere. And without women activists like them, women may possibly still be seen as inferior to men in society even today. Because like during Judith Sargent Murray's time, activists like herself helped gain women the right to vote. And then Taylor Swift and women like her in our day and age, they gain a lot of equality for women in the workplace. And so they really paved the way for many feminists all over the world to become activists and help women be equal to men in society.